The Transformers universe just dropped its biggest bombshell yet. After years of speculation, false starts, and fan theories, we finally have concrete proof that the most dangerous villain in Cybertron history is about to make his live-action debut. We have new updates, potential Michael Bay's shocking return to the franchise, to the official announcements that just dropped. And yes, Unicron is finally here, but the story behind how we're getting him is far more complex and exciting than anyone anticipated. First up, H&F Productions just delivered something that seemed impossible 3 years ago. Their Transformers Rise of Unicron project, which began as a passion project by David Handler and Daniel Faulkner in 2020, has evolved into what many are calling the most ambitious fan film ever attempted. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another amateur YouTube project, hold on. This is an actual movie, because what we're seeing here rivals major studio productions in ways that will genuinely shock you. The studio announced that the first full Decepticon trailer titled No More Disguises, No Mercy will drop on YouTube this Halloween, October 31st, 2025. The teaser posters look promising, and earlier test footage already gave fans a taste of what's coming. Highly detailed, fully animated robots in motion and environments that look straight out of a live-action film. From the red-armored Decepticons seen in early animation tests to the haunting sunset landscape of the first teaser trailer. But later we have an official Paramount movie happening, so keep watching because this is just the start. Moving on from Michael Bay's original vision. When Transformers: The Last Knight underperformed and Paramount shifted away from Bay's planned Unicron storyline, these fans decided to create their own continuation. Here's where things get really interesting, and this is something most coverage is missing entirely. The timing of this fan film's prominence coincides perfectly with some major shifts happening in the official Transformers movie landscape. While H&F Productions has been building their Unicron story, Paramount has been quietly developing multiple Transformers projects, including one that industry insiders say will bring Michael Bay back to the director's chair. Think about what this means for a second. We have fans creating the Unicron story that Bay never got to tell, while simultaneously Bay himself might be returning to finish what he started. The convergence of these two storylines, one fan-driven, one studio-backed, represents something we've never seen before in franchise filmmaking. Are you starting to see why this October announcement matters so much? The fan film's approach to continuing the Bayverse timeline is particularly clever. Rather than ignoring The Last Knight or trying to rewrite established continuity, they're building directly on those foundations. We'll come back to that, but first let's talk about what's happening on the official front, because the timing here is absolutely not coincidental. Multiple sources, including industry insider Matthew Belloni, have confirmed that Michael Bay is indeed in talks with Paramount about returning to Transformers. This isn't just speculation. We're talking about active development of what could be Bay's triumphant return to the franchise that made him a household name. Josh Duhamel, who played William Lennox across 4 Bay films, recently confirmed his interest in returning to the franchise, specifically if Bay comes back to direct. When a veteran cast member starts publicly expressing enthusiasm about a potential return, that usually signals something more concrete than wishful thinking happening behind the scenes. But the most telling detail? Here's the connection that nobody's talking about. Bay's original plan for what became the canceled Transformers 6 was built around Unicron as the primary antagonist. The massive metallic horns we saw jutting from Earth at the end of The Last Knight, that was Bay's setup for a cosmic-level threat that would dwarf everything that came before. When that movie got canceled in favor of the Bumblebee reboot, that storyline went dormant. Until now, what do you think about this? Unicron's emergence as Transformers 8's main villain delivers on years of franchise buildup. Rise of the Beast introduced the cosmic entity as a planet-sized transformer who consumes entire worlds, sending his herald Scourge and the Terracons to obtain the transwarp key, enabling faster dimensional travel. The film's climax saw the Autobots and Maximals destroy the key and collapse the portal, leaving Unicron stranded but not defeated, setting up perfect continuation for the sequel. Insider reports. Analysis of potential villains explicitly states Unicron as the confirmed next threat, noting since Transformers Rise of the Beast set up Unicron as the next big Transformers villain, the massive Transformer is likely to appear again in the next film. The article explains that with other worlds expected to appear, the plot of Transformers 8 could see the Autobots, Maximals, and Joes trying to stop Unicron from consuming faraway planets. Producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura previously claimed Unicron was too big to do correctly, making his inclusion a major creative ambition that demonstrates Paramount's commitment to delivering spectacle. The Transformers and G.I. Joe merger was officially confirmed at CinemaCon 2024, with Paramount positioning it as the franchise's next major evolution. Rise of the Beast's post-credits scene showed Agent Burke recruiting Noah Diaz into G.I. Joe, establishing the connection between organizations. Derek Connolly is writing the screenplay, with Lorenzo Di Bonaventura and Michael Bay producing and Steven Spielberg serving as executive producer. This high-profile creative team signals Paramount's blockbuster ambitions for the crossover. There's a big mission at hand. I think it's really cool that there are other planets out there with Transformers. It's one of the reasons why I introduced the Maximals that way in the beginning of our film. I was pulling from these Japanese cartoons where there's Transformers on every other planet. I just feel like we've been on Earth for a very long time, so there might be something interesting to explore there, maybe taking this war and battle somewhere else. Capill Jr.'s vision for Transformers 8 involves exploring other planets featuring different Transformer species beyond Autobots, Decepticons, and Maximals. This expansion allows the film to showcase the truly cosmic scale of Unicron's threat while introducing new characters and civilizations. 8 hints that Transformers 8 will take the franchise off Earth for the first time, suggesting the space-bound direction represents natural franchise evolution. The multi-planet approach creates opportunities for diverse action sequences across alien environments while maintaining the G.I. Joe human perspective. Capill Jr. noted, the addition of G.I. Joe characters in a sequel to Transformers Rise of the Beast may allow them to be point-of-view characters for the audiences as other Transformers species are introduced. This structure prevents the crossover from overwhelming either franchise's identity. Bay's original Transformers series generated over $4.8 billion worldwide across 5 films, establishing the template for blockbuster spectacle. His continued involvement provides continuity even as new directors bring fresh perspectives. Reports have speculated about Bay potentially directing future Transformers projects after stepping away, with some suggesting 5 separate projects currently in active development, including potential Bay-directed installments. However, official confirmation only exists for Capill Jr. returning to direct Transformers 8. Paramount confirmed Transformers 8 and Transformers 9 as a new trilogy following Rise of the Beasts, though neither sequel has official release dates yet. Industry projections suggest Transformers 8 arriving in 2026, with Transformers 9 potentially releasing in 2027 or 2028. Stephen Caple Jr. indicated he plans to return as director and has ideas for continuing the story. Chris Hemsworth's reported involvement adds A-list star power, with speculation about him playing a major human role beyond his voice work as Optimus Prime in the animated Transformers 1. Henry Golding, who previously starred in Snake Eyes' G.I. Joe Origins, could potentially return to connect the G.I. Joe films. Paramount's commitment to Transformers 8 and 9 demonstrates long-term franchise vision extending beyond single installments. The success of Rise of the Beasts, despite being the lowest-grossing entry at $427 million worldwide, convinced the studio to continue building the universe. Multiple Transformers projects remain in development, including animated films and potential streaming content. The G.I. Joe crossover represents Paramount's strategy to build a Hasbro cinematic universe connecting their major toy-based properties. Comic book crossovers between Transformers and G.I. Joe date back to 1986, providing decades of source material for adaptation. This shared universe approach mirrors successful Marvel and DC strategies while maintaining each franchise's distinct identity. Transformers 8's official confirmation with Unicron as the ultimate villain, G.I. Joe crossover integration, and multi-planet scope positions it as the franchise's most ambitious entry yet. With Stephen Caple Jr. returning to direct, Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg producing, and a 2026 target release, the film has blockbuster foundations. If Bay's official return gets announced and scheduled for 2026 or 2027, the fan film essentially becomes a warm-up act for the main event. But if there are delays or complications with the official production, H&F Productions could find themselves providing the Unicron story that fans have been waiting for. The success of H&F Productions' approach could influence how Bay approaches his potential return. If they fall short of their most ambitious goals, they'll still have created something valuable. This is just the beginning of what promises to be the most significant period in Transformers movie history since the original 2007 film changed everything. Make sure to hit that like button if you're as excited as we are about these developments, and subscribe to stay updated on every twist and turn as both the fan film and official studio projects move toward completion.